Before we resume the answer and question session, I'd like to apologize in case I have ever said anything that would have insulted anyone or anyone's faith. Especially here, we have to respect, we have to respect everyone, and I'm certain that I have never meant or even said anything that would insult Jesus or claim that he was an arrogant person. He was if you want to say, one of the epitomes of modesty, the greatest example, one of the greatest examples for all mankind. And if, in case I have said that, and I have witnesses and I have the recording, in case I have said that, I deeply apologize, and I hope that you personally accept my apology.
بس نقطة تاريخية لأعلمكم عن تأسيس هذه الجامعة. دانيال بليس كان أسيس مخلص بدم يسوع المسيح اللي دفعه يترك أمريكا سنة 1860 يجي يبني لكم هالجامعة اللي هي منارة الشرق، أعظم جامعة في الشرق. كونوا ممنونين له وكونوا ممنونين إلى الدين اللي خلاه يجي يفتح هالجامعة.
All right, next question. Can you boomerang the microphone to that?
Thanks for your presentation first.
You're welcome.
I want to ask you about the verse in the Quran that is about the letters Alif Lam Mim, or what does it
Yes, this jointed letters.
In addition, if someone likes to be a Muslim but his society has restrictions about that and it's very difficult, well, what will he do in this case?
Two questions. First of all, the disjointed letters, actually there are, if you want to say, also evidences about the preservation and the transmission of the Quran. Because the letters Alif Lam Mim, in which some surahs start with, like Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-An'am, Surah number 2, Surah number 3, could have been recited Alam. And we have Surah Al-Sharh, which says Alam Nashrah Laka Sadrak. It's also the same letters, Alif Lam Mim, and they are jointed, but they are pronounced in this jointed manner. This shows that the oral tradition is that, also, if one say, hand by hand, there will be scriptures help in the preservation of the Quran. So this is one point. The second point is that what do they really mean? Now there are different interpretations, and you can say this is one of the mutashabih passages of the Quran. But we can infer many things from them. For example, Ibn Kathir said that if you bring these letters together, you see, these letters, Alif, Lam, Mim, Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad, Nun, Yasin, Taha, etc. If you put them together, it will become one text, which is Nassun Hakimun Qati'un Lahu Sir. A script, Nassun Hakimun, which has wisdom, which is certainly from God, and which has a certain secret within it, if you put them together. Now, this is one of the interpretations. Another interpretation is that usually when a human starts reading a book, they will read it with some superiority. Yeah, I know what he's going to read about it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to be humble when we start reading the Quran. When we start Alif Lam Mim, Allahu A'lam. We say Allahu A'lam. So we're entering the Quran with humility, with humbleness. You see, rather than with superiority and this sense of I know everything. And you can check if you want these many interpretations, I want to say, within the frame of valid interpretations from many tafsir. And inshallah, if we can, after the session, I can give you my email, or I can send you, inshallah, some things in particular about that. Now, the second question, if someone wants to become Muslim and he is afraid of some consequences by his society. Now, we have to admit that our Occidental societies deal with religion as part of the heritage that we take from our mothers and fathers. You see, but if you want to say, we have to go to another level in which religion is not what I take from my mother or my father. Religion is something that I seek for, something that I read about, and something that I embrace. But that requires a lot of effort. This is why people easily follow the religions of their fathers and forefathers. However, that is not impossible. we invite each and every one of us, each and every person, even Muslims themselves, to read and examine, to read more about religion, read more about philosophy, read more about the facts that support a certain faith, and that each and every faith would present. And we have in the Quran a saying which says, "Qul," it's a verse which says, "Qul hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin." Say, develop your proof, your evidence, if you are saying the truth. Now that person has one of these two options. If that person is certain, and certainty is a must, that Islam is a true religion, he might either declare his faith and try to, let's say, travel or try to find a way to deal with his parents or with his environment, or he can secretly, and I know many people who are like that, you see in many countries, including Lebanon, he can secretly practice his religion to, if one say, maintain his safety and not to put his life into danger, and not to go in clash with society, and Allah knows best. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Another question?
Hey, I just thanks for the interesting lecture.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I just have a tiny comment or question, and I would like it if you would let me reply after you answer, because the real question is the reply.
Okay.
So yeah, so the thing is, the Quran and the Bible are incompatible. Okay, so there's I mean specifically about the issue of crucifixion and of course other issues, but we have this historical evidence, this historical evidence, or it is historically documented that Jesus was crucified, and we have witnesses, etc. So I want to say that why would we have any? I mean, okay, so we have this book who suddenly we don't know where it came from, and who suddenly claims that this historical fact, who questions it and who claims that Jesus wasn't crucified and he wasn't resurrected.
Okay.
Why should I have? Why? I mean, what supports that? Why should I have any reason to believe in that, since it contradicts the initial scriptures? So I mean, we have witnesses, we have historical evidence. What does the Quran have? I mean, it just says that it wasn't just simply as that, but I mean that contradicts all historical proof.
Firstly, I would challenge the assumption that it is historical evidence. I mean, the only evidence that you can refer to is the evidence within the Bible. But then we can reconcile that with the Quran, because we can argue that the Bible has been subject to change, which is objectively verifiable. You don't have to be a Muslim to believe that. Was that the answer that you anticipated? Even
Yes. Okay. Have you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls? Have you ever